Contenders Basketball because this is the first sort of big flagship release with a ton of big autos, big chases coming up for this 21-22 NBA rookie class. I think a class that about midway through the season, we were like, could be better. Little bummed by this class. And then I think we kind of got caught up in the sort of in the flawless 2021 flawless hype and focusing still on the 2021 class. And all the while, the 21-22 NBA rookie class turned around. And I don't think I'm making a bold statement, got really good, really fast, and maybe as strong as last year's class. I know LaMelo and Ant-Man are at the top. I know Dan is shaking
I watched that Timberwolves game last night.
I know.
Anthony Edwards is legit.
He's good. He's really good.
He is legit.
But he's
probably better than Luka.
Here's my argument. Whoa. Hey,
Hey, how about that? How about that? Yeah, fall out of your chair. I said that. Everybody, which camera? All of you. I said that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look at the heat. He is an amazing basketball player. I'm all in on Anthony Edwards.
He's an incredible player.
So let's.
I give him props. He's really good.
I almost fell out of my chair saying that this rookie class could be better than last rookie class.
Jeez.
I say it because there's two guys at the top of the hill last year, LaMelo and Ant-Man. Obviously, they're incredible players. They have arrived. But I think in terms of the depth, this class, and that's what we were saying back last draft, that yes, it's not going to be as exciting to begin with, but as the years go on, you're going to realize, man, there's a lot of good rookies out of this 21-22 class. There's a lot of good guys. So let's run them down, do a quick 21-22 NBA rookie recap. I'm going to start with Cade Cunningham, who let's just throw this out with Cade Cunningham. This was tweeted out by the Detroit Pistons via Elias Sports. Cade Cunningham posted averages of 22.9 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 7 assists in the month of March. The only rookies in NBA history to do that in a single month. Michael Jordan and Oscar Robertson.
Nice. Good company to be in.
Very good company to be in.
It's kind of an obscure stat.
Maybe it is, but I mean, if you're a rookie averaging 22, 5, and 7.
I mean, yeah, that's good. Pistons need to become a better team. They need to put some pieces around him.
Yes.
I think we can say that, and we're probably going to say that about most of the rookies we're going to go over right now. I think the one thing that lacked is that they were not on a team that was going to make a deep run, minus
two guys.
There's two guys, and again, that's two guys that, I mean, last year in the playoffs, we had basically no rookie hype going into the playoffs. This year, we've got two guys that one guy, we'll see what they do in the first round because the Raptors have a tough test, I think, with the Sixers.
Dude,
and
speaking of that, the Raptors having a tough, every YouTuber NBA channel lately has been talking about how the Sixers are going to have trouble with the Raptors and how the Raptors are way underrated.
I like the Raptors, but
Dude,
that almost to
every
me,
NBA YouTuber has been saying that the last week.
Look, the Raptors are one of those teams I think everybody has slept on all year. Like, I mean, they were only champions a couple of years ago, a few years back, and it's mostly the same team other than one major factor. But I
you know why though, right? Because Matisse Thybulle can't play in Toronto.
That's true. That is going to be a massive bump for the Raptors in that series. But I still can't deny.
And Harden hasn't been great in Philly.
He hasn't.
He hasn't been great.
He hasn't.
But so it's gonna be up to Embiid.
And Embiid probably should win MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be tough to count out the Sixers when on paper they have a better team than the Raptors.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Now,
they do.
Are they going to have to show up? They're not going to. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be one of those series where they're going to come in and they're going to blow them out 4 games in a row by 15, 20 points.
I think it's going to go 7.
I don't know if it'll go 7. I think the Raptors might take a couple games, maybe 4-2.
Yeah.
But I bet the games are within 5 points.
Well,
less.
while we're talking about the Raptors, let's actually shift over to Scottie Barnes, who is their big rookie.
Yep.
A good year for him. I think he
Very
started
good year.
off really hot, maybe slowed a little bit at the end, but still, I think, 15.3 points per game is what I'm looking at for the stats for the year. 7.5 rebounds per game. Really good numbers for him for a Toronto team that, like that we've said, is in the playoffs. Got some of his card numbers right here. Let me get that up.
It's tough that we're in the playoffs and we're not talking about their Prism cards.
I know. That's
I'm looking at what yeah, but we're comparing like elite
right.
rookies. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's
like,
tough.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, like we are.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Part of the reason we weren't talking about these rookies early in the year is but there was no product.
Prism.
Right.
Yeah.
There was not only no Prism, there was no products coming out.
Right.
We had hoops.
Right. We have hoops and elite. That's what we have to compare right now.
We just had Prism Collegiate draft.
Right.
Like that product just came out. Season's over.
Yeah.
This is going to be the tough thing with this rookie class.
Like,
that is
the basketball draft for next year is like going to happen soon.
And we're barely going to get Prism.
And we may not have Prism out yet.
Right.
Or may not have it, yeah.
I think we're really talking about these rookies if there's more cards in their NBA unis that we're chasing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that we have 4 of the top guys who actually got drafted, as the top picks that performed well during the season. 2 of them are in the playoffs, and then you got a bunch of other rookies this year that did well for their teams as rookies. It bodes well for the rest of the card season for this draft class for sure.
Yeah.
But this is uncharted territory. We've never gone this far into a season without having some of these staple products like Prism. Right? Like, we're literally in the playoffs.
I can't even. I mean, I'm trying to go back to last April, and I felt like we were running behind last year.
Yeah, we were, but they were coming out.
But we were well into products, like substantial like product releases.
Yeah, I wonder what happened because it really did get backed up a lot.
Yeah, I know
that manufacturing thing back in the fall. Remember that?
Yeah,
that affected it. But we got Prism 2021 LaMelo year last January, right? So here we are, like in the middle of April, and we still don't have the 21-22 Prism yet. So.
Yeah, it's tough for this class, which again, like I said, the on the court play I think is starting to speak for itself for a lot of these guys. I just do want to point. Let's do this. If you had to rank these 4 guys that we're discussing, that we're looking at here, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, who Jalen Green, by the way,
put up like 40 last game of the season or something close to it.
Last 9 games, 28.1 points per game. He shot almost 43% from 3-point range. The guy started looking really, really good. I know he got a bunch of junk minutes for a while because that team in Houston was really bad, but he started to look like the real deal.
I mean, I figured like his stat line was going to be a little skewed because somebody has to score,
exactly.
Right? So, but his shooting percentage really wasn't that bad. Like you said, his like 3-point percentage not that bad. I feel, and I talked about it before. He was my go-to guy who I think, after everything settles, he is going to be the rookie that everybody is chasing in 2-3 years.
I wouldn't be shocked.
When the Rockets turn it around. You got to remember, he did spend 1 year in the G League. So he didn't do the college route. He did the 1 year in G League. So he was playing against pros last year.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm super happy for Jalen Green. One, because I'm always going to support him. He's like half Filipino or part. But
That's right.
I'm happy because he started off the season really rough, man. His shooting percent, he was not shooting the ball well, and that's what he was known for, right, coming into the draft. So the fact that he finished the season well, I'm happy for him, and hopefully he does. He's gonna be one of those staple guards in the league for a long time. So anyways, rank Dan. How would you rank these 4 right here?
Jalen Green's number 1. Cade Cunningham. Man, I haven't watched too many Raptor games. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about Barnes, but I I don't know.
I think you are kind of with everyone as I'm wearing a Blue Jays hat. So and I'm saying everyone's sleeping on Toronto. No one's watching them. But honestly, yeah, they're probably the best team that nobody watched.
And it's tough because I haven't watched many Cavs games either. So
I will say this: the way you're ranking them, I don't know if you noticed this, or if you know this, but Scottie Barnes and Evan Mobley, they're bigs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Jalen.
That would make sense because that's how I usually. As far as the hobby, and again, I think I've talked about this, and I think Doug's talked about it, and I think Conrad's talked about it. It seems like bigs don't, regardless of how talented they are. You can look at like Joel Embiid,
DeAndre Ayton.
for Ayton, but Embiid, like with the stat lines that he puts up, his cards should be selling for more than they are right now. They are selling for a lot of money. But if he is a Luka or John Morant or Steph Curry, like they sell for double or triple. There's something about the bigs game that isn't flashy enough for the hobby.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I always rank, and that can change. Like if you go way back, like 1992, 1993, the hobby was run by what?
The bigs.
It was run by the bigs, like Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, Hakeem Olajuwon. It was like those players were what drove the hobby. You wanted a Shaq card. You didn't want like Bobby Hurley or somebody else of the same era that was a rookie.
Or even Shaq was selling for more than penny.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it just speaks to how the game has changed, and because of that, the hobby has changed around it. Because a guy like Evan Mobley, who had a great year, and he was hurt a lot. He missed a good amount of time. I won't say a lot, but a guy who I think probably is the rookie of the year. Maybe Cade Cunningham did that late push at the end of the year, maybe did enough to take it away from him. But clearly, a guy who's rookie of the year, if a rookie of the year contender, favorite. But yeah, you're right. I think with
Mobley though, you take him off that team. And you saw it last year. They're not a playoff team.
They're not a good team.
They're not. They're definitely not in the playoffs.
No.
So you got to put that into the rookie of the year voting.
Yeah.
He was
guys that make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, he was such a good fit and such a big deal to his team that he transcended him from basically a bottom dweller in the East to a playoff team. Now, Cavaliers probably not going to make a run quite yet, but they're putting the correct pieces in place. And I mean, I don't want to speculate. Does LeBron go back to Cleveland at some point?
I think he would be smart to do so. That team's that's got a really nice young core.
And he's coming back. He's coming to Golden State, dude.
I don't know what we would have to. I mean, Wiggins
minimum,
and like a Moody probably.
I think you saw that same trade. Wiggins, Moody, and some like a first round pick.
Yeah.
C-Rad, who do you got as if you're ranking these four rookies? Okay. Cade, Jalen, Ed Mobley, and Scottie Barnes.
I am going to say Cunningham 1, Jalen 2, Mobley 3, and probably Scottie Barnes 4.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds about right. I think that Barnes could jump up just because Mobley is such a more in the traditional big man mode, and like if he'll do fine and have a great NBA career, but he falls into that, yeah, he's great. He's been great, but if he falls into that, then yeah, it's the hobby will respond. Will respond the way they do for other big men. But I really like Cade Cunningham's future potential. I thought his all around game was pretty incredible there at the end of the year. Had some nights against like big, like good teams and just huge nights.
Kind of reminds you. He does remind you of like a Anthony Edwards, like his rookie season.
It feels so similar.
Maybe one more season, you give him one more season, he might be able to take that Pistons team to the playoffs, like how Anthony Edwards was.
I think that in terms of like team situation, obviously Mobley and Barnes are already in the playoffs, but I think Cunningham and the Pistons are about a year away. I think they're really, really close.
A year and like a really good vet.
Yeah.
Like a big name vet, like an all-star at least.
And if the Pistons are making a run to start the season, as now because of the calendars all skewed, we're probably going to have the big flags, the big money releases coming out for the 21-22 class. Man, Exactly. We're gonna have it. It's gonna be January of next year. It's gonna be huge stuff. And what if Detroit is this year's next year's Chicago Bulls basically?
And then the 70th anniversary logo, man.
Dude. I'm glad we're talking about basketball. We had some play-in games last night.
Great games.
And man, I don't want to play the Timberwolves.
No,
I don't know,
they're
Grizzlies
like so the Timberwolves. You get out of their starting five. Like the bench doesn't have a ton of depth, right?
Yeah.
But Cat, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Patrick Beverly, who apparently played with a chip on his shoulder, always does.
Always.
But last night, he really, really, really gave it to the Clippers. And that was fun to watch. Love the emotion. You got to be rooting for the Timberwolves right now. It's a great story. The NBA needs it. The NBA needs those stories. They need those stories for hopes of, like, the Pistons turning it around. Like, hopes that, these teams that have been bad for a while turn it around.
Yeah, agreed. A few other guys to mention before we do move on to our next topic. I think another reason just to be optimistic about these future releases for the 21-22 class, which again, whenever these come, January and February next year, who knows? But Franz Wagner of Orlando, Jalen Suggs barely played. He was hurt most of the year. Both on Orlando. Wagner played really, really well most of the season. Josh Giddey, I know a lot of collectors were starting to really get into Josh Giddey on OKC. Davion Mitchell put up really good numbers near the end of the season for the Kings. Obviously for the Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga, he's in the rotation. He's going to get looks. Kuminga. He's going to get looks in the playoffs, and another guy that could up his value come playoff time. He's not going to be making the game-winning shots or anything probably, but there's a lot of reasons I think to feel good going into, as we are now entering the bigger releases for the 21-22 rookie class.
I do believe what you said before about this rookie class. It has a lot of depth. There may be a point where these products are as close to a can't miss as you can get in the industry because they're, let's face it, usually after 4, 5, 6 years after a product comes out, there's like 1 or 2 players that you're really looking for.
They're good from the draft.
This may be one of those classes where 5, 6, 7 years from now, there's 8 or 9 players that are potential all-stars.
Yeah.
Now, they may not be the best player in the league, but they may be all-star caliber players.
Yeah, I feel good about this draft class for sure. There's been so many draft classes the last 10 years where we felt so sure about it. And then only 1 or 2 guys, like 15, 16, like Devin Booker and Cat only, right? But then there's been some years where, like, it was all right. 14, 15, they were all right. But then, or 16, 17, where there's, like, a lot of guys that are really good from that draft class, actually. Mm-hmm. Remember, we talk about all the time, 16, 17 was a terrible year for products. Ben Simmons didn't sign any cards. Well, who the hell were we chasing? But now you look at that draft class, and it's like, damn, that draft class is loaded. Jaylen Brown, Brandon Ingram, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like the Siakam from the Raptors. Right. It's like, damn, that draft was actually really good.
Yeah, I actually see a lot of parallels between the 16-17 product and granted, with the 16-17 product, you always had the chance of like being able to pull Kobe autos.
Yeah.
We're not going to have that opportunity now, but like in these products. But I think we're going to see some really, really good depth, and these products are going to they're going to hold their value, and they're going to do well for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let us know what you think about the 21-22 rookie class in the NBA. Do you think it can be as strong as we saw in 2020 and 2021? Hard to beat that, but a lot of guys to choose from. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like this video. Subscribe to Mojobreak Media for more basketball card content, sports card content all throughout the year.